Hello, guys. Thank you so much for attending the live premium webinar organized by Verzeo. I wish you all a very happy Republic Day. Today, we have with us Mr. Thrifty Kapila, who is a level 3 software development engineer at Walmart. He is a premium mentor with Verzeo and has worked with over 10 startups. He has mentored over 2,500 students, such as yourselves, and he's always on the lookout for, doing something new. He likes to call himself a jack of all trades, if I may. I'm really glad to welcome Mr. Kapila to this webinar. And I hope you guys have a good time getting all the answers to your future goals, and you also get some insights into how to path your career. Once again, I welcome you all to this webinar.
Yeah, hi Anusha. So can we turn on our video or like it's this way? It's fine, fine. Or you gonna go about it? Hello, Anusha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
So I mean, like, should I turn on video or like we are okay? How you want to do it?
I think it's better you turn on the video. It will be a little more interactive, I guess, for the students.
Sure. So like whoever also wants to turn on the video, please do that. And let's do a bit of more interactive session. And so first of all, I can talk about myself or my journey. And going forward, we can take some questions or any doubts you have as of now. Okay. So talking of myself, so currently I'm SJ3 at Walmart, and I have like three and a half years experience in web development. So I primarily work on React.js and these kind of front-end technologies, React.js, JavaScript, HTML. Um, but I have also worked with a lot of startups as a freelance developer and designer. So for design also I do Figma. So these are the things I do. And apart from that, I also kind of doing some sort of side hustle where I'm building some sort of company to help the students and young startups to kind of bring them together. So that's the intent. Uh, and till now, I have helped almost like 20-24 students get a internship, and then eventually full-time job also they will be offered depending on their performance. And talking of that, the name of the company is Bright Turn. So I can probably share if you guys don't know about it already. Bright Turn, as the name suggests, it's a combo of two words, bright and interns, and that's what I want to do, like going forward, to help students get their first job or internship. And at the same time, I feel like most of the startups or the internships providing companies are, they are not kind of providing a good quality of internships. I mean, like either it can be paid, and if it is paid also, then it is like under very low budget, that kind of thing. But so on those notes, we have some sort of policy where we provide, do we get certificate for this webinar? Okay, I'm not sure. So for that, you can connect with the Verzeo if you are from. So this is not for some sort of certification. This is not going to be helpful putting it in your resume. It's just for a knowledge sharing, and any doubt you have. That is the intent for this. Okay, and yeah, probably so there won't be a web certificate, but if it's there, Verzeo, someone from Verzeo can confirm on that. Okay, so moving on that, I was saying like the thing is I want to say like whether wherever you're learning from, like if you're learning from Verzeo or if you're learning it by yourself, if you want any, if you have some good projects, you can reach me out on LinkedIn and I can definitely help you land your first job or internship. And we have like policy of minimum 20,000 stipend. So yeah, that's more or less about me. And I have also helped a lot of developers or young professionals in their career, like giving some advice and like stuff. What should be the kind of companies they should be targeting, how to approach, what should be the kind of project they should be having, which technologies would be a better, or like that. And to my point, like I have always said, if you are looking for a, especially if you are a fresher, always you should prefer joining a startup rather than joining a company which is already very big. Let's say, let's give an example of Amazon, and let's compare it with the company let's call Catex. So Catex is a company which is into techs related to crypto. So it is very fairly new, Okay, and I know their CEO as well, Gaurav, and the product is good. And the thing I want to say is like why you should consider joining a startup over the well-branded company is like you probably would never get to work on Amazon.com when you're joining in your early career, right? Or you might be given some sort of test project where you're just part of a very small piece of the puzzle, right? But when you join a company like edX, it gives you opportunity to work right on their end product, and you can interact with the CEOs and CXOs basically, and understand how this company is built, and you can grow with the company. So couple of other examples are there. Then there's this company is also there. So Anar. So they offer, let's say, company name is Anar.biz, I guess. So all these companies you can check, and the point is, like they gave a ESOP of around 5 lakhs and in a year it went up to like 33 lakhs. So this is how quickly a startup is growing nowadays, and you guys already know it. So that's what I want to emphasize. And so there's nothing specific planned for this webinar, and I wanted it to be sort of conversational. So I'm not sure if you can raise your hand and you can unmute yourself, and we can take up questions, and let's make it more interactive. So do we have any questions? I'm pretty sure you guys be having a lot of questions. So feel more than free. You can directly message me if you are not comfortable sharing it with everyone, or if you are okay, you can raise your hand and probably we can unmute and we can start with the questions. Right, you can post your questions in the chat as well, or you can. Do they have access to unmute themselves or raise hand so they can ask?
Uh, yeah, they do have it. They do have it.
No, I think Parvati is saying they're not allowed to unmute.
Let me check once.
I think you can raise your hand and then we can give chance one by one to unmute. Yeah, we have a raise hand option. Sir, how is the demand for Android developers? Gautam, anytime someone asks about this specific kind of questions like which technology they should be looking for when talking about the demand side of things, to be honest, like demand is for everything and everything. What you should be looking out for is what is the thing that you like doing it. So in the early stage, what I suggest people to do is, let's say, even if you're building, let's say, very easy app. Let's say you're building to do application, just a list of some tasks that you need to do on a daily basis, and eventually you can build it in various technologies. Let's say you build it in MERN stack, which is MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. Then you try doing it with the Angular. Then you try doing it in the Android, do it with the Flutter, do it with the Ionic, do it with the React Native, and then figure out which one you are. So basically, that's how you should be analyzing which is the technology you are more comfortable with, and then build more and more projects in that side. And I mean, like demand is there and it's going to be there, so there won't be an issue. Okay, I got message from someone. Okay, I'm getting direct message, so I don't see any issue with if you can write a message question to everyone, feel free. Like let's be very communicative, and that would be helpful for everyone. Someone is saying like he's in second semester, how should I approach web development? So there are a lot of YouTubers nowadays that you can also go for, and I'm pretty sure there should be courses around Verzeo as well. You can also have a look around that. And on top of that, if you want to do it with the self-learning, then there are a lot of docs available also, depending on which technology you want to go in. And that would be another way. The way I did it was like I sort of picked some sort of freelance projects, and it was like very cheap at that time, like maybe 5K or 10K per month kind of internship. Not internship, but some sort of freelance work I got early in my third year, fourth year. In those years, I got some projects, and because of the pressure, right, I have to deliver, and then only I will get to earn money. So that kind of was a good motivation for me to get going, and eventually figured out stuff from the Google. And to be honest, like I'm not someone who can would like to do it right from scratch or do it all by yourself. So I'm a good believer, like if everything, if most of, if something is available on Google, why not use it? So yeah, like I'm a sort of a good Googler, you can say. But yeah, that's how I did it, and that's how you should approach it. Maybe build some sort of application for to help your students, or there are a lot of some. Okay, now there's no cultural fest, but in our time there was some cultural fest to build. So we used to build some sort of applications for our culture fest or that kind of stuff as well. Okay. Um. So that's the way you should be doing. Like, learn things by doing it. Actually, that's actually builds your portfolio as well. It helps you in further job search as well. And then there's an option for participating in hackathons. So definitely do check out for that as well. What are the skills required to get placed with higher packages? What are the skills required? Okay. So I'm getting this question. There's no, like I mentioned, there's a good requirement of everything. So I know, like till now, like most of people that we that got hired from my company, Brighton, are they are into Merge Stack, MongoDB, Express, React Node. Some are only in React, some are in Angular, but more or less they are really good with. They have some sort of portfolio. So that's how the way I operate with the companies. And I had myself, talked to a lot of early stage companies like CXOs. What they ask is like it's not just the skill set. It's about what kind of projects that you have like build. Like, do you have any proof of work that you have done already that you can see? And if there's like they're looking for someone who can come and work from day one, that is the intent. And it's not limited to skills. So there are people with Flutter who know Flutter, and that guy got an offer of 15 lakhs. He's in third fourth year. He just started with the fourth year, but he got a for 50 lakhs, which is, I believe, is it's a good starting point. 15 lakhs is not a easy job to get, but he has some build some sort of application related to he actually created a very nice application where the intent was kind of sort of tricky. I mean, it was like, let's say you have to build some sort of assignment, right? You have to make handwritten notes and then give it to your teacher. So what he did, like all the things that is available on internet, let's say he's building some sort of microprocessor or 8080, those kind of assignments which needs to be in writing or something. So created a application where you can copy stuff from Google, and it will make it into handwritten way, and it will, in the background, it will be a actual notebook, and it is also doing some sort of cutting and to make it look very natural, so teachers can't figure out the difference if it's a actually handwritten or it's done by AI. So that was a kind of students I work, and he is working with Flutter and also Firebase, all these things. Once you're building something real, like solving a problem, eventually you will learn a larger set of skills. So that is very much appreciated in the IT world. So that's the way you should be going about. Okay, is internship that important? Can we get into any company without doing one? To be honest, like it's nowadays it has become really important, because when I have to, let's say I can only hire one person. Okay, there's A person and there's B student. Okay, A student, B student, but then I have to choose only one. Okay, someone has done some sort of internship of 6 months and he know actual skills, how to work in the company, how to git commands, Jira, and those kind of tools. He have practical knowledge and application, rather someone who has not done those kind of things, who is coming really fresh, he has zero experience. So definitely he gets a very competitive advantage over the other. So yeah, the internship should be really really important. It is really really important. So okay, so next question I got is I got regarding to Verzeo internship training. So it is like, can you tell us more about Verzeo internship training? I think Ajay would be a better person to talk about that. Ajay, are you there?
Yeah, Thrifty. I think we can take that question at the end.
Okay. So the question is like, can you tell us more about Verzeo internship training? So they are asking about some internship related training. So
Okay.
we'll take it in the end. No problem. Okay, thank you. Welcome. Sir, do our class 12 marks and typically maths matter for finance job? Like I'm not sure about the finance job, but it's a sort of a maybe a filtering factor could be. Like again, like I mentioned, if I have to see in India, we have a lot of competition. That is the issue. And if you have like really good you have really good skills, then it probably won't matter much. But again, if I have to choose someone with the equally skills, and then it kind of becomes automatically kind of biased to choose someone with the better marks. But if you look around for a startup or early stage startup, hiring is based on more or less of conviction. And if you can show something like if you have a particular reason why you were not good in back in 12th, or why you gotten better, so doesn't really makes much sense. It's some sort of a filtering mechanism. When I say filtering mechanism, it mainly works in a larger corporations where they don't have the bandwidth. So in companies like, let's say, Amazon or maybe Infosys, or which are having like lakhs of employees, right? They don't, and then they are getting applications, job candidate resumes of almost like lakhs or even 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs in this range. So they don't have a better way to filter. They can't take interviews of everyone. In that case, these marks are considered, and because of that, you might or might not get shortlisted. But in startup world, it doesn't really matter if you're skilled enough or you have some sort of background or proof work that can reflect your skills. So that's a good way to start, I would say, if your marks are not that good. Okay, when can I do an internship after 12th? Okay, I mean, so this message I got, so it's not like you have to rush really hard after 12th getting into the internship. Internship should be done after you have some sort of experience, you have built something, you have learned or acquired some of the skills. So maybe second or third year is a good way, good time to go for internship, and first year should be really dedicated for the learning part of it. So that's why I don't suggest going for internship unless you are a very rare case. You have been doing coding from 10th or ninth class and you have knowledge and built some sort of projects already. Then then you can go about internship. MBA is necessary for startup. Okay, so I'm not sure what kind of degree you have done before MBA, if or how much experience you have. All those things really matter, and what kind of job you're looking for, that also matter. So if I'm looking for a junior role, then it doesn't really matter. So can you give me some context? If you want to unmute and talk about that also works, or give me some more details about around it. Okay, what is the meaning of cybersecurity? That the meaning you can check on Google. So cybersecurity is related to how you can mitigate the risk of cyber attacks, cyber attacks or cyber crimes, to avoid any data leaks or basically hacking and stuff. So it's on those lines. But the meaning you can, so don't ask those kind of questions which you can easily look on Google. Okay. Okay. So you're a BTech student, then why do you think you need an MBA for a startup? You want to start your own startup, or you want to join in a company and do a job of BTech kind of guy? Then you don't want a MBA. I didn't understand the question actually. Okay, moving to next question. I'm a fresher and my question is how to build a legacy. Okay. Uh, that's a sort of very vague question. What do you mean by legacy? Can you maybe refine it in a better way? Then I can answer it in a better way. But as of now, I don't understand what you mean by legacy. What should be your basic skill set if you want to do an internship in an IT companies? Basic skill set should be around knowing, like, you should be having a proof of work. I'm coming back to that again. And let's say you build some application around to do only. So it could be done in Android also. It can be done in web development also. So it's completely open to you. And then there's the option of DevOps, data science, ML, AI, and then UI UX design as well. So that's also, so someone who is not that confident in coding and don't want to pursue, so product design is also a better way nowadays. And it's fairly easy to get a hands on it. And I mean, the UI, doing the UI stuff is a bit easier. Like you can get started with the Figma very quickly, but understanding the psychology of making those decision choices, that's a time consuming thing, and that comes with the experience of doing more and more stuff. So there's no particular skill sets. Every skill set is required in an IT company. Okay. Next question is, okay, I'm BTech student. Like I mentioned, so BTech student does not need an MBA to get into a startup if you're looking in, if you're talking in that sense. Next question, what is the use of command prompt? Just Google it. It's like these are, what is the use of command prompt? To run some commands, like that's the use of command prompt, nothing much. Is MBA necessary for getting a job? Again, not necessary. So I don't have an MBA, but I do got some. I do get some offers regarding regarding the roles which require MBA, because I have worked in a lot of startups, like mentioned. So I have hands-on experience of working with across the teams, managing people, and also in the product management as well. And since everything is kind of available for free, so I myself went to a lot of resources online by myself and acquired those skills around pricing strategy and what all frameworks should be required for product management and stuff like that. So again, it is kind of necessary if you're targeting companies like McKinsey or bigger companies like Amazon or these kind of companies. Even in Walmart, you need an MBA to be a product manager. So depends on which kind of companies you're targeting. But if you're targeting companies like early stage where you can show your proof of work, and like in early stage company, I see like lot of hiring comes with the conviction as well. If you can convince someone like why you should be given a particular role, then degrees, grades doesn't really matter. Given that you should be having some proof of work or some kind of projects to showcase. So that's a big advantage. What one should know to be a data scientist. Okay, so data scientists, like there are a lot of different paths or roadmaps you can find online, but then you should be good with the obviously the data, and just try to use some sort of open data which is available on a lot of different platform, and try to play around with it and reduce some results from that. And like everything, I believe it should be done in a way of building things and doing it of your own, and eventually you will understand what all things you should be required. Another tip I have for you is, like, if you're looking for a data scientist, right, go to a particular job ID, just Google on LinkedIn. I mean, like, just search on LinkedIn or Google for a particular role in data scientist. Let's say data scientist in Amazon. Okay, you figure that out, and you look for job description, and then you see what are the things they ask for. So that's how I do it. If I want to, let's move into Android development. So I will Google like Android developer jobs. I will see what are the requirements listed in the particular job description of different companies, and based on that, I will make a list what all things I need to learn, and will check them off one by one, and that's how you can do it basically. Okay, can you teach from its basic in internship program? Can you teach from its basics in internship program? I didn't understand your question, so if you can come again. Basics in internship program. So there's no internship program I'm talking about in my case. The way my company, the Brighton, I want to run is like, if you're skilled enough, I don't really care if you're coming from which company, if which college, which training, how many grades you have, how many attendance you have. If you have some sort of proof of work or some good projects that you can show me, hey Thrifty, I built this thing, then you are in. So I'm not doing the there's no internship program. If you have good projects, I will show your projects to the companies, and then they will interview, and then they will hire, and then you will be working for them, not me. So that's how it is. And again, like, it's free, and I want to make it free forever. I don't want to charge students. And yeah, so this is internship program if you're talking in that aspect about my company. Okay, so Sagar is so 1 minute. It's saying like want to start a startup in a future. Okay, that's good. Yeah, all the best. Okay, I think it's a follow-up question related to the. He's asking like if a MBA is required to do a startup in future. So it definitely helps you out, but again, it's not a necessary thing to do. Many non-tech founders want someone from the tech background, like CTO, and there are a lot of accelerators also available. Like there's a program by EF, Entrepreneur First, where it's a very accelerated kind of MBA, where you get to learn stuff about pricing, negotiation, business strategy, how to strategize your position in the market, all those kind of things they teach you in in a very short span of time, like 2-3 months. And then there's a Y Combinator also. You can go to Y Combinator if you don't know about Y Combinator. So these are the companies you can look out for. Y Combinator is there. They have like a startup school where you can learn all this stuff for free. And then if you're really interested, like quitting, you're not doing a full-time job and getting all into the startup thing, then definitely there are accelerators. Like I mentioned, EF is their entrepreneur first. They have their programs, and like that is literally not required for doing a startup MBA. Would MBA help to accelerate in coding career? No, no, it won't. If you're doing MBA very early, just to definitely it doesn't help in the early stage. Maybe 5-6 years after of coding experience, if you want to get into MBA, that also will help you land a role of product manager or engineering manager, that kind of role. But again, like the workload would be different, the KPIs would be different, responsibilities would be different. It won't be around like coding, it would be around maybe managing people, managerial skills. So for a coding career, it's a kind of no given that you're in a very early stage career, sorry. What is the difference between Windows, Kali, Linux, and Apple? Again, you can Google this stuff. Ask me those questions which you probably can't Google, and you want to learn from my experience, my mistakes, my journey, and etc. etc. Those kind of questions you should be asking. So difference between Windows, Kali, and Linux is really easily available on Google, right? So ask relevant and right questions, I would say. Okay, next question I have is, does interviewer expect interview to explain codes in interview? Yes. So let's say the way I also take a lot of interviews. How do I go about it? Like I gave a problem. I want, I don't want someone to write the solution directly. I want someone to explain about it. How, going to be the approach, and like first have discussion and then go about writing a code, and then before running, if he or she can give a dry run how this is going to work and why not. And that is the way it should be done. You should be able to articulate why you have written this code in a particular fashion and not the other way. So definitely it is very much required to explain the code in the interviews. Okay. So, okay, sir, after graduation, which company can I join as a fresher? As I'm a BTech CSE student. So if you're a BTech CSE student, you can literally join every company, any company basically. Depends upon the skill set you have, what kind of projects you have done, how good are you are in DSA or programming kind of skills. Okay. So there's no right or wrong answer. You can join Verzeo also if you're really good with the your skills. So there's no particular answer for that. Okay. How can we get a certificate of particular language from a reputed company? Ex- Except Udemy. Again, like I'm not sure. Maybe at your point, it really matters to getting a certificate. But me, if I'm an interviewer, I don't really care what kind of certificates you have, how many certificates you have. If you are able to solve a problem that I gave you in the interview, you are selected. And even if you have like 40 or 50 certificates with you, but if you're not able to solve a question, or if you're not able to build an application, then basically you're no use of the company. Again, it's all boils down to the one thing: how you can provide your services to the company, right? So it doesn't really help any of this kind of stuff, having certificates or not. It's good to have, but it's not a must have that you should be worrying about where or how you can get there. I hope that answers your question. In which software industry the packages are highest? And I am an EC guy. Will you tell some name of the jobs of software industry? So like nowadays, a lot of other startups are also giving, but if you talk about in a very um, standalone way, like a very straightforward way, like these are the companies like Fang, Intuit, Walmart. They are really good paymasters, but nowadays you see companies like Swiggy, Zomato, ShareChat, Paytm, Dunzo, all these, at startups, like well-funded startups, are also giving equally or even more than those compared to the FANG. So it's not, more or less depends upon the company. It depends upon what kind of skills or what kind of basically skills you bring to the company. That's all. It depends. What is the best paying jobs in the field of coding? Again, like it's a very, very not a, it's not a context driven question to ask, because it doesn't really bring much context about it. Like the question is, what are the best paying jobs in the field of coding? It doesn't really matter. Like someone who is working in a smaller or maybe company in some, let's say for example, let's just name some companies. Like if you're working for a services company, Infosys or Wipro or TCS, etc., etc., you're doing the same stuff. So when I was working in Infosys, so after college I joined Infosys. Okay, I was building the same UI button, I was building the same UI screens, etc., etc. Same thing I'm doing in Walmart also. So all these things are, like it's a sort of depends upon how much experience you have, and how, which is the company that you're working with. Okay, so someone with 3 years experience also might be earning even 50 lakhs also. Someone with 3 years experience I know who is still earning 5 lakhs. So that depends on which kind of companies you're working, how good are you in what you do. So all these things really matter. Okay, so next question we have. I am from non-tech background. So what are the basic technology skills that should I acquire? Depends. Like if you're looking for a non-tech job, you should be very specific what you want to do in your life. Like if you have interest in designing, you can go into product design. If you have some interest in managerial skills, you can choose to be, starting your journey with a product manager or product management intern, some sort of thing. So all those things you can do. Like it depends what kind of job you're targeting. If you're non-tech and if you're targeting in CS, so you have a long way to go, and one should be either you can join these boot camps like Verzeo or some other startups also. Nowadays we have lot of options also, or you can do self-learning and build some projects and then move to the IT career. Again, it's a very open-ended question. Not clear what exactly you're looking for, but this is what it is. In which city you are right now? I'm in Ludhiana, Punjab. Okay, thank you. Is MBA more beneficial after graduation or after appropriate experience? And sir, in what case after graduation should we go for MBA? I mean, should we package or company or what? Okay, so this kind of question a lot of people have, and to answer that, MBA or MTech or something, I believe it should be done after experience, because if you have explored yourself in which field you want to go into, because nowadays MBA also have a lot of different categories or variation or options to ask for MBA in marketing or in HR or product management or data analytics, etc., etc. So I would say just first realize and see what you're really good at it, get some experience, and it is kind of preferred to have a experience for doing MBA. In fact, in foreign universities in USA, Australia, it is a mandatory thing to have 3 or 4 years of experience, minimum 3 4 years experience to get an MBA, and that's the way it should be, because otherwise people end up taking MBA because they're not getting any job, or they don't know what to do next. So this kind of thing should not be done in a hurry, right? It's a good investment. It's a financially also and time consuming also. So take your time, see what you're good at it, and explore, and then go about it. Okay, what was your journey like from graduation? What was something new skill you learned on the way? To be honest, like I let's be really honest. Okay, I to in my case I literally didn't learn anything from my college. It was more or less around the microprocessors, 8080 kind of thing, and more of a theoretical knowledge. SQL is a good like to be used in day to day, but since I'm not using it, doesn't really help much. But then topics like operating system and those stuff doesn't really add up to what I'm doing it right now. So but yeah, so and then there was no internship. So the reason what I do is also coming from that, like after my BTech I was kind of jobless for 5 6 months, and then I just applied to some companies off campus, because we were the founding batch, and then there was no senior to guide us, and there's no much companies that came and hired our batch. And yeah, so after that I joined Infosys. I worked there as a monster developer, and I also did a lot of freelance work. Then there was some time, I was working with 3 companies at a time in some sort of a freelance way. To it really helped me out in my learning, in building my network and acquiring skills. So that's way I did it, like grinding up, working maybe 16 hours a day, even on Saturday, Sundays. And then eventually moved to Mantra Labs. There again, I worked for 10, 11 months, and then got into Walmart. Again, like when I moved from Mantra Labs to Walmart, I was not kind of looking for some sort of like these kind of companies. I just was looking for very smaller companies, smaller in the sense like there's a company called Esper, ESPER, really good company. It's a deep tech company. I love working for these kind of companies, but uh, yeah, but I didn't got shortlisted for that. But I kept giving an interview, and then Walmart just I got selected. I didn't actually even applied for Walmart. Just got a call, and yeah, it just happened. Maybe a little lucky over here. So that's my journey so far. What is your experience in your job? Like I mentioned, I work in kind of your front end, and along with that, I also do some UAX using Figma, like prototyping. So I design website or web application for my company, and then I build UI for that. Can you share your experience in Walmart and tools to enhance coding skills? Okay, so experience is really good. It's a very chilled out place to be. So because we are working on a very good scale, so work-life balance is good, pay is good, everything is good. But yeah, like this is a so far experience, and it's been good. And being remote only, I didn't get to see the office and meet my colleagues. But yeah, this is a new normal. What type of projects you did? So Shreyas, like to be honest, I didn't did more projects, uh, like just for the sake of getting a job, right? Because I see like a lot of people do this just for getting a job, and once you're doing this kind of stuff now, then you don't put your heart and soul into it. And the projects that I've done is more or less on the freelance, where I also earned and learned at the same time. So I did, like I mentioned, 8 to 10 different projects that I've done and worked with startups, and maybe um, some teams are under 5 people. So for 2 co-founders, and there's a back-end developer, then me as a front-end developer in a very small team size. So you get a lot of exposure. You work on hiring new talent. You take interviews, and you're basically seeing things end to end. So that's how I actually evolved as a person, as a programmer. And to be honest, like I never did any lead code kind of stuff. I did try it, like did 2 3 questions, but I feel like it's not my cup of tea. I don't like doing it. It's not. There's no motivation I see in that. So yeah, I'm more of a if you give me a problem, I will copy stuff from code of copy stuff from Google, but I will make it work. So that's kind of work I like to do. Okay, as a second year graduate student of economics, what should know to give a better show to my career. Okay, so probably I'm not someone good enough or eligible to answer that question because I don't have a background in economics, but I have done some courses related to pricing strategy on Coursera and some negotiation, these kind of things. So you can look out for those kind of courses on Coursera, and like if there's any other resources on YouTube or free internet or somewhere, you can go about it, and yeah, like that's how you should be doing. Maybe ask a better person because I'm not the better person to ask this economics related question. Sorry. What are the best skills for future to get a good job? Depend with what kind of job. So give a proper context to the question. What kind of job? It could be, so just give me a proper question. How much experience you have currently? I have, if you consider before graduation, it would be around 4.2, but officially on paper it's around 3.5, 3.5, somewhere around that. What happens in an internship? Okay, so basically you're not full-time employee, but you depends upon, again, like what kind of company you are working with. It's a kind of a exposure you're given to the how things work in a corporate setup, and it's a good way to start your career. In simple terms, you learn how to work in a team, how to collaborate, and basically work together as a team, because as a student most of the time you have been working all by yourself, or maybe in a very small setup of, let's say, two, three, or maybe five team members in your projects, but you get to work on the real life projects. So that's why you should be doing an internship. Okay, I'm a commerce graduate. I want to enhance my skills in the field of technology. So what are the skills that should I acquire? Again, depend what kind of technology you're interested in. See what are the things that you like doing it. So maybe follow along some YouTube tutorial or something. Like you will find a lot of YouTube tutorials related to how to build a Netflix clone, right? Maybe it's a I think there's a 10-hour long video. Even if you don't know anything, just try to copy what all things he is trying to do, and see if you're like okay sitting for 8 hours or 10 hours straight in front of a computer and doing that stuff for a longer duration. If you're not able to do, then I would say don't get into the coding world, because now, like, I see many of my friends are also, were a coding guy, but then they lose out on interest, or it's something they don't like doing it, so they're looking for some sort of product manager or that kind of role, or product designer, or people get into testing or solutions engineer. So all these options are available, but the important point is figure out what you really want to do. So that would be the suggestion I would like to give. What are exactly projects? What do we do in it? Okay, it's a very basic question. I'm not sure which you're in, but the thing is, projects is basically, it could be anything. It could be uh, building a payment system using Razorpay API. Okay, and you are able to list down, let's say, all types of different newspapers, and someone can actually order newspaper online to uh, like, and it can be anything. So anything, any startup that you see, or maybe uh, it could be resume builder, it could be URL shortener. So all those stuff, you can, anything you can see in your daily life that you are already using is a project in itself. So Swiggy, if you do in a very small scale, just to list down the dishes available, if you are able to add more dishes, if I am able to order dishes, it's a very smaller version of Swiggy, then it's a project. Okay, just look out on internet what kind of projects that you can do. Okay, to next question. What interviewers will see, our knowledge or our capabilities? Why not both? They will say both. Okay, which skills should I acquire in the first year of graduation? What kind of skills? To answer that, what I would suggest is like to explore a lot of different things. So in my first year, I was trying to get into game development. I was trying Android. I didn't tried in this Stack or JavaScript, this kind of web development, but I was just trying. So it's a sort of a exploratory kind of session or period, I would say. So just explore new things, and I was doing some sort of robots related stuff also using Arduino. So building some, cart. We have cart competitions also. So just have fun and try to learn more and more, and try to explore more and more, and then figure out which is the one thing that you like doing it, and then go all in. So that's the last question we got. Any more questions, please guys, feel free. This is your time. Also, you can reach me on LinkedIn as well. So if you guys haven't created a good LinkedIn profile, I would highly recommend have a really good profile, and increase your network, talk to people, meet more mentors like me, and engage, interact with them. Let me share my LinkedIn. So you can send me connection request or follow me as well. So we can connect later on that as well. Okay, we have some more questions. Okay, no. Do you have any more questions, guys? Please feel free to ask. Okay, looks like we are all good. Okay, so maybe Ajay, now you can talk about the internship program. They're probably asking what kind of trainings Verzeo provide.
Okay, great, Thrifty. Uh, Whoever was the candidate was asking about the program details. So basically,
Right,
we train you guys. We provide you the basic skill sets that you require, and after that, we proceed with the approaches where you can work on the project simultaneously and gets a hand-on experience on the thing what you have learned. Then you will be proceeded over the certification process, or else your resume or whatever that you will be building. So that will be circulated to the other companies for shortlisting purpose for the physical internship or those kind of activities. So that was just a brief or else a short thing that I can tell you about on the Verzeo program. And apart from that, I think Thrifty had provided you a proper details on the things that you need to do in an internship, or else what it requires uh, to get shortlisted for an internship. So I think you might have got a better idea on that. Guys, any more questions or anything? So uh, get the session, what do you say, interesting, because these kind of webinars that you get are not daily webinars that you will be going at. So whatever,
right,
yeah, whatever the thing, let's say currently you are doing your BTech or you're in college life. So if you need to know about the corporate industry, how it works, so these are the profiles where they provide you better approaches, better idea, so that it will be easy for you to know what exactly is happening outside.
right. I think maybe going forward, what we can do is, Ajay, we can have some sort of already set of questions that they can ask, and we can go by that as well.
Definitely, definitely. Guys, anything more? How was the session?
Yeah, how was the session, guys? Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi Melvin.
Sir, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Sir, I want to talk. Sir, I want to ask a question about how to connect on LinkedIn. I was always scared to connect with people like you. Whether you would feel weird if somebody sends you a connection. How I was always worried about connecting with people on LinkedIn. So, can you please say about some etiquette to how to connect on LinkedIn with people like you?
Okay, to answer that, there's a connect button over there. You have to click that, and boom, like then it's up to them they want to connect or not. And then, dude, like there are millions of people. Like and then you connect to only 30,000. So it's not a big of deal. Just send some more connection request, and don't be worried like if they are gonna accept or not. That's not how you. That's not the right approach to the life. Also, okay. People are there to befriend, and yeah, that's the only way. Even I also used to think, but then even when I connected with the top CEOs of the big companies, like let's say Bharat Pay and Class Plus and these kind of companies, also they are very equally friendly, and they also respond back given that you ask relevant questions. Don't ask those kind of question which is what is the difference between this and that, all the stuff that you can Google. So yeah, there's no issue. Like I don't understand like if you're facing an issue or why are you hesitating. So basically I think it's all coming from hesitation. Don't hesitate, and just reach out to more people. Or maybe if you want to you share your profile in this chat to everyone, and whoever wants to connect, they can send you connection requests, and that's how you connect with more and more people, network with the people. Just share your LinkedIn profile here, and yeah, I think you all should be sharing your profile and connect with uh, such amazing people who have joined today. Right? Any specific ask you have for me, like Melvin? Please tell me, because that's all I can say about it.
Okay, I think that's all, I guess, from the candidates. Guys, I would like to tell that we'll be doing similar kind of webinars in the future also, in kind of a series or episode kind of things.
Right.
We'll definitely take your feedbacks who have registered or else who had joined the meeting, on what topic you want to hear from us, or on what things that you wanted to be on. Okay, considering those things, we'll definitely take it further, and you can stay tuned to us. You can follow Thrifty. I think he's a better person to help you out in your future, or else to know more about anything, or else I think he's a humble guy that you can
Thank you.
definitely reach out. Uh,
Yeah.
so that would be the thing from our end. Thank you so much, Thrifty, for joining. That was a great session that we had. In the
Thank
future,
you.
let's go ahead with some episodes or some sessions of yours dedicated to one particular topic, and
Right.
we'll take it further after that.
Yeah, sure. And one thing I have for you guys is like try to bring more and more friends, and like because since it is free, you should be sharing knowledge and joining these sessions and bringing more friends to such webinars. So yeah.
Yep, that's all. You can share the links and you can attend. It doesn't have to be limited to you. You can share with your college friends, or your if you are an employee, you can share it to your colleagues. You can do that. That will be helpful for you, and along with that, it will be helpful for your friends also.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much, one and all.
Thank you
We'll
everyone
be
for
seeing you
joining.
soon, and we'll have the webinar in the coming week also, most probably by a different mentor. Stay tuned. That's all from my end. Thank you so much, Thrifty.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Bye
attending,
guys. Take
and
care.
yeah, giving your 1 hour time. Yep. Thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye.